Welcome to Good News Rhode Island, the show about Rhode Island and the people and places and events that make Rhode Island a great place to live. These people work behind the scenes and build our communities. A lot happens at the universities and colleges, schools in our state. Brown University invites people from all over the world to come here to teach the students, but sometimes the larger community gets the advantage of their visit. Today we have a dancer from Japan, Natsu Nakajima, who is a Japanese Butoh dancer. She's here as an educator. She's here to work with the students of Michele Bach-Coulibaly, who is a senior lecturer at Brown in the dance department and theater department. And we welcome you both for being here. Thank you for being here. And what you have to say is so different from the areas where we work for dance that it's really exciting to hear sort of a new viewpoint, which is spreading around the world. I understand that Butoh is moving to different continents, and a lot of people are very interested in it. So welcome. First of all, we should just say that the roots of Butoh are in probably right after 1945. And that is when you got involved, and you just told me that, not to speak for you, but that your life has been Butoh. Your life has been this dance. And so we welcome you. There's no one who knows more about it than you right now. So we thank you for being here. 1945, Hiroshima, the bombings, a lot of things happened. As you said, I heard you say, Japan knew that they had lost the war. And gradually, jazz and American dancing became very important to Japan. And from that, why don't you take it from there?
Yeah. I was born in 1943. So I was 2 years old when the war ended. And my family were living in Sakhalin, the most north. In Japanese, it's called Karafuto, and now it belongs to Russia.
Uh-huh.
And so just 1 month before the end of war, Russian army attacked
your town, your area.
So all family had to evacuate very quickly to inside of Japan.
Uh-huh.
And I myself, I was brought up in Akita Prefecture. This is also north. And till from 2 years old till 6 years old. And I came to Tokyo when I was 6 years old. And also my master, Tatsumi Hijikata, came from Akita Prefecture. So later I knew some very important coincidence in my mind.
Uh-huh.
And also when I talk about dance, we opened our country over 150 years ago to the world. Before that, we had over 300 years closing Japan. On the Edo period, it's no influence from the world.
And so you had your own art, your own dance,
yes,
your own way of speaking, your own understanding of the world.
And among Asia, I believe Japan is the first country to open our country to the world. And Holland, many America, many foreigners came.
And so once you opened, having had this closed period, then a lot of people came to find out new things that they had never even thought of, because in Japan things were being understood and thought of in ways that Americans or English or French or whatever would never have thought of. That's my understanding. Is that accurate to you?
Speaking with Natsu, not having been there and reading history books,
Yes.
I would say, of course, and many Japanese came to America, right?
Yes.
So there was a cross-fertilization of artistic ideas, musical ideas, philosophical, and spiritual. I think the West was seeking a new way to think and feel philosophically and spiritually, and the East seemed to offer something much more, I would say, open, and not, from some of our harsh Protestant upbringing. It was an open philosophy of love and high expressivity.
And so you became involved after you met this master that has taught you so much.
Yes, it is. But before that, I had to tell how we Japanese copied all Western culture when we opened the country. And especially, for example, you knew, samurai women, geisha had very strange wig.
Yes.
In Edo period. But after Meiji period, when we opened our country, they cut their hair.
Even the geishas cut their hair?
Yeah. And even samurai, they had to cut hair and copy the Japanese way of, Western way of the hairstyle. And also, the first time they started to wear Western costume, even shoes, everything that we had to study from Western world, even politics, not only arts, everything. We got influences.
What happened to tradition then?
That's a problem. For example, so when I talk about the dance, before the war, we had already much influences from Europe dance, from Europe, like Mary Bigman from German Expressionism. We had much influence. But after the war, when Japan was defeated from the war, America gave us much issue, dance and jazz. So, for example, my ex-master came from one of very few pioneers who studied from Mary Bigman and imported to Japan. And but this is my ex-master. But American modern dance, I myself studied all people. Butoh people came from modern dance education. They got the education from modern dance. So the topic is why we had, since we opened our country, we are kind of a double culture people. Tradition in behind, very in secretly. But on the surface, we are more the same as you.
Oh, that's very interesting. So it's really a constant dialogue between tradition and whatever is in the world, Americanism, for example.
And especially after the war, we had great our traditional theater dance form, like kabuki, like no theater, and like puppet theater, bunraku. But these traditional people are very descended and be done. No more activity much after the war. Then more.
So they weren't respected after the war because their traditions did not come into the present.
So it's very divided. Tradition, very small people just closed their gate, and more we copied just American modern dance, a big influence from America. So the people who are not satisfied with just mimic of westernized style, why not we had such a big, great tradition? So Butoh is a kind of, we did a bridge between our tradition and also Occidental culture. So Butoh people all came from Occidental dance, but we started to research more our tradition again.
And Buddhism brought what did Buddhism bring to the dance?
Buddhism and Shintoism, in our mind, it's very basic spiritual pillar for us, and on the surface, we are not so specific religious people anymore, but in behind, in many systems, in culture, our life itself, we are supported by Buddhism and Shintoism, but it's more not much. It's behind already.
It's private.
Yeah,
it's interior.
Yeah. So of course, when we think about our traditional art, theater art, is many even Bunraku Kabuki texts itself. It includes of many stories from religious Buddhism. So much influences.
So it really is a very wide worldview, in a way. I mean, it's embracing. Now, you talk about the dark side of this dance. Could you talk a little bit about that? I'm sure there were horrendously dark moments in Japanese history after World War II.
For example, we have many, we can't tell just one single dimension about shadow, dark. For example, when we started our activity, Butoh activity, it was 1960. So
it was a few years after the war, obviously.
Yes, but also not only Japan, in the world, 1960 is very interesting time in culture, kind of cultural revolutionary period.
Yes, upheaval.
Yeah, open and to be naked, hippie.
Right.
At that time we started, and also we didn't have any minor culture underground activity. Only commercialism or traditional art activity and copy of American dance or Occidental something. It's major. We didn't have any underground subculture. In some way, from Butoh it started. Subculture started, and Butoh was a kind of culture brought to Japanese society, subculture influence very much. It was kind of cultural revolution.
And so it allowed people to remember their past, but look forward to the future.
And also, you always in the dancing world, dancers came from rich family, and the poor family cannot.
Because they did not study the dance.
But since Butoh, like me, I'm not came from rich family, but we could dance. So this Butoh...
it was more egalitarian, is that what you would say?
So Butoh has art as artistic philosophy, or we prefer poor people, weak people, and always we have this eyes, how to tell, not rich people to be famous. More we are.
It's for the average person. Is it for the Butoh is for the average person?
Butoh people has eyes of minority spirit.
Yes.
connected
Okay.
with minority
Butoh
people.
have the eyes of minority spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, I can.
So this is one side of darkness.
Uh-huh.
And also, for example, I think nowadays the civilization is going to change. It's big topic.
Right.
And when people don't know where we will go, maybe people return to body again.
Uh-huh. So it's re-enlivening of the understanding of the body.
Yes, yes.
And that is what Butoh
this is I think this is why Butoh expanded in the world. One big reason might be this. And also, dance and body doesn't have borders. No need English or no need Japanese.
Because we all experience our bodies in similar ways.
So, because of this,
it's an international language.
Yes, yes. And also Butoh includes very much primitive conception, the primitiveness of human beings.
I think I read that you're looking at the work of farmers, agrarian culture, for
More ancient.
more ancient cultures.
Like your production. Now you are creating a new production. Please tell me.
Oh, okay. Well, Natsu is here under the amazing award that we got from the Perlmutter family, who had lived in Japan, who loved Japanese culture, and donated money for us to bring artists who we thought would help us explore new avenues, new visions. It just so happens that Natsu and I we were here together 29 years ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Natsu was here for a year, I believe, living in New York and traveling around. And for some wonderful reason, we ended up together. And I was so moved by her work. It has stuck with me. It was deep inside, and I continued to study Butoh with anyone that was even close. But this gave me an opportunity to invite her back. This was a piece I'm working on that's really looking at the interiorities all the way into the DNA blueprint, but looking at the connection between those deep interiorities and the cosmos. How are we connected not only in our own bodies, but to our planet, to the moon, to all of the influences in the cosmos? How did we get here? And much of the work that when we had worked together, Natsu talked a lot about dust and very powerful elements of what it is to be human. A deep investigation of what our humanity is from our body. How does our body script us, author our existence? So she is here investigating, helping the students investigate deep states of existence, from breath to just rocks, looking at elemental, and you use the word primitive, but primitive in the sense of it's first, right? Prime means first. What is most important? It's our breath, our heartbeat, how my heartbeat is connected to yours and yours, how my breath is connected not only inside of me, but to everyone else outside. So Natsu has been working with members of New Works to open them to these concepts, deep, deep embodied concepts of self, identity.
So, for example,
was that simple?
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful, and it's what we need right now. It's definitely what we need right now. We've lost ourselves. But the idea of American dance and this, I see why it is so different.
her new piece has echo to me. Because it includes some element of primitiveness, which I'm telling, and body knowledge. So, you talked about Buddhism, and before Buddhism, we had more Shintoism. And of course, in history, Buddhism, Shintoism is mixtured. But Shintoism more primitive, and also maybe very against the Christianity. For example, in Western, God had only one. But in Shintoism, God belonged to everywhere. I mean, more respect to nature. So stone has God, the tree has God, God, all they are God. And also, the world is very chaotic, but world itself very chaotic. Chaotic. And the Shintoism idea is very chaotic. So, like nature is chaotic. So, I feel Butoh is primitiveness. When I say primitiveness, it's, for me, it's more Shintoism.
I want to talk about your pictures over here that we have. We have some of your dancing from your younger days. And I wonder if you could just talk a moment about the way a dance was constructed and what your role was in that dance and where it was performed, or was it just performed for you?
This photo came from my production, The Garden. And this is very memorial production for me. It was when I was 38 years old. It's the first time I went out to foreign countries. And in everywhere, this piece was very successful. And 5 years I did tour in the world. And I knew art activity can change my life, could change myself, my life. And also my life can change the production. So something, we have this communication, so this is very memorial for me.
What is this dance?
This is one woman's full life. Full life of one woman. So they have springtime, childhood, but also 4 seasons in her life.
So, but women's lives are very important to your dance. Is that right?
Yes, of course. Of course. Yeah.
And women dancing. There are men dancing Butoh, but women dancing Butoh as well.
What's interesting for me, when I was in Israel, one of the famous group, Sankajuk, and I was there in the festival, Israel festival, and all critics, male critics, supported Sankajuk, and all feminine group people protected me. They did argument.
So you're spreading feminism around the world as well.
Yeah, I feel I myself really I'm protected by women's power. My art was women could understand more.
Because what you're dancing is inside and been forever in a way. It relates to cosmic dust and to all humans, all the bodies, all human bodies. What you're expressing is a new kind of feminism, a new kind of understanding of feminism that is both ancient and today.
And also, sorry, I'm jumping, my mind is jumping. I mean, Butoh is not outside, is not a technique of outside in shape or a style or a technique. More return to shamanism. So for me, Butoh is very natural, not artificial intellectual activity, more from intuition.
So Butoh happens.
So I feel myself.
Is that right? It's just it's a happening.
Yeah.
It's a being.
So modern feminism, I feel I'm shaman in some way.
Okay. A shaman is to you. A shaman is someone who is spiritual and moving from spiritual understanding.
And dance might be originally like this.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah. Very ancient. It was just the urge to move.
So also this dance, because of this dance, is connected with religion very much.
We have tried for a few minutes to talk about something that's really very much beyond at least my experience. But I wonder if you would like to summarize a little bit.
As you said, it's an expansive form, it's an expansive experience. But maybe the word experience is what's important here, is that what I love most about experiencing Butoh is that it allows me to feel my authenticity, who I am, what's showing up right now. And you can see the deep, deep yearnings and borrowings and blendings from Shintoism, animism, shamanism. These are healing arts. The body is its own healer, and this is a form upon which we enter into our experience. We welcome what's arising, we dance what's arising, and by telling our own truth, we heal. And these have always been healing arts. And I believe that that is why Butoh, you can go to any country and you can see Butoh is now, well, it has been for decades, but growing. It's an art form that's growing because of its authenticity, not its high intellectualism. The head and the body are not disconnected. It's all one expression. And that is healing. And if we're not healing, then maybe we shouldn't be doing it.
Natsu Nakajima, we welcome you here and thank you very much for trying to explain something so deep. And Michele, thank you for bringing Natsu here and for allowing all of us to hear this little bit.
May I plug the show? Natsu and we're collaborating on this piece, which will be performed May 3rd through the 6th at the Stewart Theater at Brown University as part of the Spring Festival of Dance. And I am very honored to have you part of this project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Good News Rhode Island, and we hope that you have an amazing week finding out new things about yourself.
Thank you.